I recently hosted a webinar called Your Divorce is Final, Now What? In this webinar, I covered 8 topics for recently divorced women to tackle as they start to get organized and take charge of their financial futures. In this video series, I'm going to share those same recommendations with you. My name is Sarah Zuckerman, and I'm the founder and lead planner at Reset Financial Planning, where I help newly single women align their resources with their values to plan for the next chapter of their lives. If you're looking for a thinking partner and financial guide for your transition, please visit my website at resetfinancialplanning.com. Now let's dive into today's topic.
So the next thing that I generally recommend for clients is budgeting, which nobody likes to hear, nobody likes to do. It's not fun, but I do think it's important. Not necessarily that you have to budget and watch every dollar that you spend from now until forever, but I do think it's a good idea to at least establish a baseline. Spend 3 months monitoring your spending so you can really understand where your money's going. I've worked with thousands of clients over my career, and I will say many don't know how much they're spending. And even when people have a fairly good estimate of what they're spending, nobody overestimates. Everybody underestimates. Watch it for a few months so you can understand where you're spending money. There are a couple tools that make this easier. One is called YNAB, which stands for You Need a Budget. And there's another one called Monarch. Both are great in terms of allowing you to link your accounts in, and then it sucks in all the information and it makes categories for you. It's not perfect, right? Sometimes it will think your grocery store is a restaurant or something, but you can set up rules to correct that. And then every time you swipe your card, whether it's your debit card or credit card, it brings all of that transaction information in and it helps you start to create a budget. They do have fees for using the services, but it's like $10 or less a month. So they're pretty affordable. And again, it's not something that I think you have to do forever, but I do think it makes sense to do it for a couple of months. Then you have to look at the data and decide how you feel about it. I'm not a believer that you can't go to Starbucks and buy a coffee if you want to go to Starbucks and buy a coffee. But I do think you have to make trade-offs, right? You can't buy everything you want all the time. And so where are those things that you're willing to cut back on or that you're spending more on than you think is necessary? And then that's where you start to look at, in terms of where you could be spending more smartly. Sometimes for people, it's DoorDash and the fees for getting food ordered. It's all kinds of things. It really is, it's dependent on you, but unless you have that vision of your whole spending, it's hard to see. The other thing that crops up a lot for people is the subscriptions that we have for everything, the Netflix and the Amazon and all the TV streaming services and gyms and all those sorts of things. Those can really add up. And if you're not using the service, easy enough to cancel and save that money. So those are the kinds of things that you want to look for. I've seen clients who have 3 or 4 Netflix accounts and they didn't even know. It's like their kid signed up for one over here and over there, and it's just coming through the credit card every month and they're not paying attention to it. Going through a one-time exercise of really understanding your budget can help you spot some of those things and clean them up as well.